Well, welcome everybody. We've got this gentle yoga class that's about to get started. We'll find our way to our mat in a comfortable seated position. I'm going matless today. I was getting all bunched up on the carpet, so I'm just gonna freestyle. So let's start to settle down into our seat. I'm taking the cross-legged seated position. You can also, bend the knees and sit up a little tall by grabbing onto the knees and lifting and lengthening the spine. That's excellent as well. Sitting over on your knees is another option. You can feel them out. We'll be sitting for a little while, getting our breath and upper body kind of warmed up. So you can move through these different seated options as we go. Wherever you are, try to find a little bit of more groundedness through sitting down through the sitting bones. So I like to move a little bit of the muscle and the extraneous tissue from underneath those pointy bones in the booty. So whatever sitting position you're in, we'll just begin to draw the belly in just a little bit. Find that 10% engagement, and then we'll lift and lengthen the spine, growing a little taller, pulling the head up towards the sky. Taking a moment here, maybe closing your eyes. You can start to block out the rest of what's going on around you and really bring the awareness into our physical presence. Taking note of how our body feels today. Maybe the sensations that are arising. Maybe we feel a breeze or a draft. Maybe we just notice the feeling of the air on our skin. Maybe we notice the warmth of our socks on our feet. And we can begin to bring the awareness to our thought patterns. Just taking a few moments here to, as thoughts kind of come in and out, noticing what they are and allowing them to pass. I know sometimes when a thought comes into my mind, I'll hold on to it and I'll spin it around and around, kind of like a tornado, just kind of keep reworking until I'm, 1,000 places from where that thought initially started. And it just, burns up brainwaves, I feel. It's good to think about things and to, rehash and review actions, but when they kind of get stuck in that gyre, that's when we, I guess, call it our monkey minds. Just kind of chattering away. So before it gets to that gyre, that tornado feeling, we'll just watch the thoughts pass through our brain, pass through our minds, and allow them to just float on by. Similar to throwing a leaf down in a creek, we just can watch that thought meander by. Maybe it gets stuck on a rock for a little bit, and then it slowly makes its way free. This thought awareness is a major part of becoming meditative. It's not that our mind is free of thoughts, just that we aren't getting stuck on the thoughts. So we can keep coming back to that practice as the class continues today and into the future. So we've checked in with our body, we've checked in with our mind. Now we can bring the awareness to our breath. Chances are maybe you haven't thought about your breath so far today, other than like, did I brush my teeth? But here in yoga, we get to Feel the breath move in and out of the chest. Feel the lungs expand. Feel the belly expand. And as we are noticing our breath, let's take a moment or two to begin to expand the length and the depth of our breath. Feeling like we're blowing up the balloon a little bit bigger than where it was and allowing it to completely empty. Squeezing out the extra breath at the bottom of the exhale. As you inhale, fill the belly with air and you'll feel the chest expand after. Take an extra little sip in at the very top. And then with a nice controlled exhale through the nose, feel the lungs drop down, the rib cage pull back in, and then the belly draw in at the very bottom. The very bottom, push out that extra little bit of air. And then begin the whole round again. Filling up the belly, filling up the chest, taking that extra little sip in at the top, and then exhaling, feeling the chest compress and draw in, feeling the belly draw in at the very bottom. Pushing out that extra little air, and then begin this cycle again. Nice and full, expanding, an extra little sip, and then exhaling, sinking all back in. Now we'll find a rate of breath that is long and smooth, maybe not quite as intense as that taking a sip in at the bottom and the top, that fullness, but we want the breath to be bigger and more expansive than when we started, with just noticing how it moved in and out. So finding something that feels nourishing and sustaining. Finding that rhythm. I find sometimes it's helpful to count like a metronome, the inhales and the exhales. It might be inhaling on a count of 3, 4, 7, whatever your number is. And then aiming to match that same length on the exhale. So this control of breath, this mindfulness in our breath, is the definition of pranayama breathing. So it's a control of the breath control. So we pay a lot of attention to our physical body in yoga. And it's equally important, if not more important, to, keep our awareness on our breath as well. It is the very life force. Can go a long time without food or water. Not as much time without breathing. So we'll just pay that respect to the breath here. Another nice slow round of breath here before we get moving. And if you'd like to dedicate today's class to someone or something, I invite you to do so now. Great. If your eyes are still closed, go ahead and gently blink them open, finding something soft to gaze upon. We'll bring our hands down to our knees and we'll pull the shoulders down nice and long. Feel the top of the head expand, reaching up, maybe up, we're a little bit taller here. Take a slight tuck in the chin and then really pull the chin down towards the chest. Moving very slowly and with a lot of intention Feeling into the back of the neck. We'll begin to bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Feel that nice stretch through the left side of the neck. Reach towards your left ear with the right hand. Just gently lowering the hand down onto the head, creating just a little bit more gravity, a little bit more weight on the head. And we'll begin to move the chin back towards the chest, finding that sweet spot in the neck that feels like it might need a little extra time. So here's some time to kind of explore through the neck. And when you find that spot, that sweet spot, slowly extend the left arm out towards the floor, fingers hover above the ground. We'll begin by just wiggling the fingers. Feeling that sensation in the hands, the arm, the shoulder, the neck. Keeping with that nice breath, begin to draw figure eights with the left hand. Noticing the sensation in the arm, the neck. Pause the figure eights, lower the left hand, release the right hand from the head, lift the head up nice and tall. Let's roll the shoulder blades forward, up, back and down, just a little reset here so that we feel nice and tall through the spine. And we release any, natural urge to bring the shoulders towards the ears. We'll just drop them down. I'll switch sides. Slowly lower the left ear towards the left shoulder. Bringing the left arm overhead, reaching for that right ear, just allowing that little extra bit of gravity to help stretch the neck. And then gently begin to find some movement in the chin, finding that sweet spot in the neck. When you find that spot, slowly extend the right arm out towards the right. And we'll do that again, beginning to tickle the floor with our fingers. And draw figure eight with the right arm. Noticing that sensation run all the way along the right neck, down to the right fingertips. Fantastic. Pausing that. Lower the right hand, release the left hand, lift the head up nice and tall. Roll the shoulders again forward, up, back, and down, lifting and lengthening through the spine. With one hand on top of each knee, we'll take big barrel rolls with the chest, swinging the chest forward, allowing the belly to grow soft in the forward swing. As we draw back, drawing the belly in, getting a nice little arch in the back, moving very slowly here at the beginning. We're feeling into our spine and our side bodies, as well as our shoulders and our neck. You can get the head involved by bringing the chin to the chest as you scoop back. And as you round forward, you can lift the gaze up. Kind of mimicking that cat-cow feel, but in a circle motion. Now let's take these barrel rolls in the opposite direction. We'll end up with the last one. Begin to slowly come up to a nice, tall, straight, long spine. Head comes up last. Take the opposite crossing in the legs if you haven't already, or you can switch up the seated position if you'd like to try something new. Roll the shoulder blades forward, up, back, and down. Feel that nice length through the spine. Well, inhale, lift the arms up overhead, lift the gaze up overhead. Exhale, lower the left hand down by the left hips. Reach up with the right fingertips. And we're going to reach over with the right, over towards the left, creating a nice rainbow shape with the arm. Feel that right sitting bone plant down into the floor. And we're going to draw the collarbones towards the wall. And this nice stretch through the side body. Now we'll lower the right hand down towards the floor, collarbones down towards the floor, changing the shape of this pose. Imagine that you're reaching with that right hand to grab something at the left. Feel how the stretch changed. Keep the belly drawing in gently, helping support our lower back and our core muscles. Now we're going to slowly swing the right hand in front of us, imagining that we're stirring a big pot. Sweeping the hand forward. And then over to the right side. Plant the right hand down by the hip. Lift and lengthen the spine. Extend the left arm over to the right side, finding that first kind of rainbow shape. Find that openness through the collarbones pointing towards the wall. Sit down into the left sitting bone. Feel that nice long stretch through the left side. Continue drawing the belly in. And then begin to lower the collarbones towards the floor, reaching with that left hand over to the right side, stretching. Feel the body just change as we make this subtle movement between the arms and the collarbones. Noticing how the stretch changes through the lower back. And then again, imagine that you're stirring a big pot with the left hand, swinging the arm forward and over to the left side. Planting the hand back up, extend the right arm back over into that rainbow shape. Finding that nice bit of movement here. Moving now with our breath, lower the right hand down, collarbones down towards the floor. Rolling forward, stirring the pot with the right hand. Planting the right hand down by the hips, extend the left arm up, pushing through the spine, creating that rainbow shape. Nice. Last one, stirring the pot with the left hand. Just plant that left hand by the hips, both hands by the hips. Roll the spine up nice and tall. Roll the shoulder blades back and down. Head comes up. Last. Nice. Let's uncross the legs. And we'll keep the knees nice and bent. Feet are planted. They're parallel to each other, hips distance apart. We're going to grab onto the backs of our thighs. As we inhale, lift up, look up, taking our seated cat-cow. As you exhale, round down, gaze down. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, round down, look down. Inhale, rise up. And then find that neutral spine. Walk the hands back behind the hips, fingers point towards the booty. Draw the collarbones back and down, draw the belly in. Gonna move into our boat pose. Take an inhale to prepare. As you exhale, lift one shin up towards the sky. And then lift the other shin up towards the sky. Feel the belly still active and engaged. Collarbones still shine forward, shoulders down the back. And then as you feel ready, slowly extending one hand towards the toes and then the other hand towards the toes. If you'd like to practice for Valentine's Day, you can open the arms up nice and wide, like you're going to give somebody a hug, and slowly bring the arms back together. Open the arms up again, nice and wide. Give that hug to somebody maybe you haven't seen for a while. Exhale, bring the arms back together. One more time, open up the arms, hug your whole community. Exhale, bring the arms back together. Slowly lower the feet back down towards the floor, grab on behind the thighs. Inhale, lift up, look up, taking that seated cat-cow. Exhale, round down, roll down. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, round down, roll down. Find that nice long spine on your next inhale. Draw the collarbones, broad shoulder blades come down the back. Walk the hands back behind the hips, finding that nice setup for our boat pose again. Drawing the belly in. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, lifting one or both legs at the same time. As you feel ready, extending the hands towards the feet, or you can keep the hands down today. That's all up to you. You might even play with straightening the legs. Doing one and the other. You can play here. This is a boat. We've done several boats now, so you know what to do. And again, if you'd like to hug, open up the arms on the inhale, and the exhale, bring the arms back together. Opening up on the inhale, exhale. Third time's the charm. Open the arms up. Exhale. Back together. Lower the feet back down. Grab on behind the thighs. Inhale. Lift up. Look up. Exhale. Round down. Roll down. Inhale. Lift up. Look up. Exhale. Round down. Roll down. And all the way back up. Nice, long, neutral spine. Give the shoulder blades another roll forward, up, back and down. Just always feels so nice. And then we'll roll over the knees and come into our tabletop position. We'll stack our wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, checking that our feet are hips distance apart. Draw the belly in. Feel the back nice and flat here. Lengthen through the spine, just finding our setup. I'd like to work a little bit into our hip mobility. So we're going to take some hip circles today. Slowly begin to kick the left heel up towards the sky, keeping a nice bend in the left knee. So it feels like almost you're holding a box between your left heel and your left hip. Keeping the hips squared, so you don't want your hip to open up here. You want them nice and parallel to the ground. We're going to start to open the left knee out towards the left side of the room and draw the knee up towards the elbow and underneath the body, and then we'll kick the heel up towards the sky. Open the knee out towards the side, up towards the elbow, underneath the body, and kick the heel up. One more time in this direction. Open the knee out, up towards the elbow, underneath the body, and then kick the heel up. Let's reverse the directions there. Draw the knee in towards the chest, out towards the elbow, over to the side, and then kick the heel up. Again, draw the knee in, elbow, side, and heel up. Try to keep that 10% engagement in the lower belly here as we draw the knee in, over to the elbow, the side, and then heel up. Keeping the heel up, re-square the hips here, draw the belly in. We're gonna continue to build some strength here in our glutes. We're gonna take 8 baby pulses, kicking the heel up, ready, and kick up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knee down, let's rock back into child's pose. Taking it nice and slow, feeling into the hips today. Give your wrists a little break here, roll them out. Maybe imagining that you're playing the harp here. Checking in with our breath. Just aiming to slow it down and smooth it out. Those hip circles can be pretty intense. They work through the entire glute. It helps build strength as well as the mobility as we open the leg out, kind of in these strange positions. We're building muscle, and that'll help us as we, do side-to-side movements, or if we're having to change positions quickly. It just kind of helps with the whole, instead of just going front and back like we're walking, or as we jog or bicycle, helps with the side-to-side movements, which can help with everything. Anyways, I yell around. Bring the gaze up towards the hands, pausing the circling in the wrist, and we'll rock back up into our tabletop. We're gonna take that hip circles on the opposite side. So finding that foundation, the belly draws in, the wrists under shoulders, knees are under hips, just checking in with all the parts. Our back is nice and flat. Slowly kick the right heel up towards the sky. Keeping the hips nice and square to each other. Keeping the belly drawing in. Slowly begin to open the right knee out towards the right. Pull the knee up to the elbow, underneath the chest, and we'll kick the heel up towards the sky. Open the knee out towards the side. Elbow, underneath the chest, and then kick the heel up. Out towards the side. Elbow, underneath the body, and then kick the heel up. We'll reverse the direction there. Draw the knee into the chest, elbow, side, and up. Into the chest, elbow, side, and then up. Re-square the hips, draw the belly in. We're going to take those 8 baby pulses. Preparing. And then kick up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knee down. Rock back again into that child's pose. Feel that nice release through the lower back, the release through the wrists. Working into our side body stretch. Walk the hands over to the left side of the mat. Sinking the chest and torso down, feeling that nice stretch through the right side body. Breathing steady and slow. Walk the hands back through center and then over to the right side of the mat. Taking these nice, big, slow breaths. And bringing the hands back to center. One more big stretch here. Reaching, lengthening the arms, feeling the shoulder blades pull up and out towards the sides. And pull the hands in just a little bit, drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Bring the gaze up to the fingertips, and we'll rock forward. Passing momentarily through tabletop, then we'll tuck the toes back behind us. Exhale, lift the hips up towards the sky, coming into our downward facing dog. Take a gentle pedal of the feet here in our downward facing dog. Just feeling a nice stretch, moving steady and slow, not pushing ourselves. Just enjoying a nice little pedal in the feet. Slowly pausing our pedal. Take a nice deep bend in the knees, lifting the heels up off the ground. Really push the sitting bone up towards the sky. Get that back bend here in our downward facing dog. Feel the shoulders pull out towards the sides. Oh, bring the gaze up to our fingertips and begin to tippy toe the feet up to the top of the mat. Up towards the hands. We'll take the weight out of the hands. That gentle bend in the knees. We'll just enjoy a little forward fold. You can grab opposite elbows here and enjoy a gentle sway from side to side if that feels nice. And we'll pause our sway. With a gentler bend in the knees, a little more generous bend, we'll slowly start to ragdoll ourselves up to standing, stacking vertebrae on top of vertebrae. Head comes up last. Oh, roll the shoulder blades forward, up, back, and down. Oh, extending the fingertips down towards the floor. Feel this nice length through the spine. Tuck the tailbone, gently draw the belly in, broaden through the collarbones. Push the fingers down. Feel this nice, strong standing pose. Take a little peek at our toes and aim to get our second toes parallel with each other. It can be pretty normal that, we spend our day kind of walking with the toes out towards the side. Get the hips moving. But for this class, let's aim to keep the toes parallel to each other. A little gentler on the knees. Well, inhale, lift the arms up overhead, lift the gaze up overhead. Exhale, open up the arms. We're just gonna cross the arms in front of us. Again, giving ourselves that nice big hug, crossing one arm over the other. Draw the chin down towards the chest. Feel a nice stretch in the back of the neck. Now we'll release the arms. Inhale, lift the arms up, lift the gaze up. As we exhale, open up the arms, cross the opposite arm on top. And getting that nice big hug. Throw the chin down towards the chest. Feel that nice stretch across the back of the shoulders and the neck. Now we'll inhale, lift the arms up. Lift the gaze up. This time on our exhale, open up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips, coming all the way back down into a forward fold. Keeping the belly engaged here. This is a nice, slow, active move. Gentle bend in the knees, releasing into our forward fold. I'll place the hands on the shins. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. That gentle bend to the knees. Inhale, rise all the way back up, stacking vertebrae on top of vertebrae. Head comes up last, arms follow, up overhead, lift the gaze up overhead. Now imagine that we're catching a nice big beach ball. Broaden the collarbones down the back body, giving your ears a little more space between the shoulders. Find that nice parallel stance in the feet, tucking the tailbone, drawing the belly button in. Feel this expansion, lift through the chest and the torso, but again, keep your ears and arms away from each other. Now drawing the belly in, we're gonna exhale, pass the beach ball over to the left side of the room. Push the hips over to the right side, but feel the feet equally planted down into the ground. So by doing this, I don't want you to kind of rely on one foot more than the other, but find a nice equal stance between the right and the left. Our collarbones shine towards the wall. Feel this really nice stretch run through the right side. And then our left oblique muscles are actively engaged. They're helping keep us from kind of crunching down into the pose. So they're turned on. I like to imagine to help activate those muscles that somebody's coming in to tickle my waist. And I go, eek. But we'll feel that engagement on the left side, that stretch through the right. Now draw the belly in. We'll use our exhale, arm strength, core strength. Rise back up, arms back up overhead. Find that nice foundational pose through the feet, belly, draw in, tailbone tucks down, broadness through the collarbone, lift and expansion through the spine. Taking an inhale to prepare, exhale, passing the beach ball over to the right, pushing the hips over to the left, but feel the feet equally planted down into the ground. Drawing that belly in, nice and solid here. Keep breathing steady and smooth. Feeling that nice long stretch run through the left side body. Right oblique muscles getting tickled, turning on. Keeping the weight equally grounded down into the feet. I just did a little adjustment. I was noticing that my left leg was really taking on more weight than the right. So just a little adjustment in the hips. Now drawing the belly in, exhale, rise back up. Now this time we'll lower the hands back down behind us and we'll place the hands on the hips. Fingers point down towards the booty. Broaden through the collarbones, push the hips forward gently. Lift the gaze up, pull the elbows back behind you. Lift and lengthen the spine as you gaze up towards the ceiling. Maybe push the hips a little farther forward, bring the gaze back a little farther, keeping the core engaged. Pushing, lengthening, lifting. And draw the belly in, slowly rise back up, our gentle back bend. Release the hands. Shake the fingers out. Bring the hands back behind the hips. Interlace the fingers this time. Pull the fingers down, broaden through the collarbones, lift the gaze up again, take that little mini back bend. And then exhale, we'll hinge forward from the hips, lift the knuckles up as we, with a long flat spine, lower the torso down towards the floor. And you can release the interlace of the hands anytime that just doesn't feel right in you. You can release that and just come into our classic Uttanasana forward fold. But if you're enjoying this shoulder stretch, this neck stretch, our pec stretch, continue to keep the fingers interlaced. Taking a nice breath here. Now increase the bend in the knees. Using that long, flat spine, slowly rising back up, lowering the hands back down by the hips, lifting and lengthening the spine. Release the hands from down behind you. Finding that little bit of bind in the shoulders. Let's roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Let's work a little more into the arms. Extend the arms out like airplane wings in front of us. Drop the shoulder blades down just a little bit. So find that extra bit of space between the shoulders and the ears. We'll begin to create circles with our fingertips. And then make the circles bigger and slower. Feeling our scapulas move on the back side of our body. Opening up the back. And feeling the shoulders broaden out. That's fine. Some stillness. Bring the hands back down by the sides. Open the arms back out. Take those circles in the opposite direction. So whatever feels natural, just do the opposite now. Very small, fast circles at first. And then slowly open the circles up, moving them nice and slow, making them bigger and bigger. feeling into the back body, the shoulders, the arms. Nice work. We'll do one more. You might notice any spots that are really asking for a little extra time and attention. And you can just feel into those spots. Our last one, we'll end up with the hands back down by the side, meeting up in our Tadasana mountain pose, feeling nice and strong. All this warmth through the shoulders and the arms. Just worked a lot through this little armpit extra space there that can sometimes accumulate. So in our Tadasana mountain pose, inhale, lift the arms up, lift the gaze up. Exhale, open up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips, coming all the way back down into our forward fold. Place the hands on the shins, inhale, rise up halfway. Lengthen through the spine, keeping the belly drawing in. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands back down onto the floor. Step the feet back to the back of the mat, hovering momentarily in our plank pose, keeping the hips in a nice line with the shoulders. And then exhale, slowly lift the hips up towards the sky. Coming into our downward facing dog. So gentle bend in the knees, the heels can lift. You can pedal the feet out left and right. Again, if that feels nice. Now we're gonna come into our warrior two pose. So begin to draw the right knee into the chest, rocking forward on the wrist. We're gonna plant the right foot up by the top of the mat, up by our hands. Back foot, I want you to swivel it so that the outer edge of the foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat. So rising up using your core strength, or you can use your hands to help yourself up onto your right knee. As you lift the torso up, plant the shoulders over the hips, and we'll extend the arms out, front and back. Nice work. Lift and lengthen through the spine. Feel this nice engagement from tailbone up to collarbones. The belly draws in so that the tailbone can tuck down gently. Nice work. Take a little peek down at the right toes. You might find that you can bend the right knee just a little bit more and still see those toes. We want to just keep the knee tracking over the ankle. We don't want to lean too far forward that we put excessive pressure on that knee. Nice work. Okay, let's straighten that right knee for just a moment. Reset up, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, find that warrior two again. Feeling that muscle memory just continue to grow and build. Now, this firm foundation through the legs, we're going to take this into our extended side angle pose. So slowly lower the right forearm down to the right thigh, and then extend the left arm up overhead, creating a nice angle with the arm and the leg. So the arm isn't hanging out, pointing straight up towards the ceiling, but more towards where the ceiling and the wall connect. Keeping the collarbones shining towards the wall. We want to avoid kind of collapsing into this pose, allowing the back to really strengthen as we keep the collarbones shining towards the wall. Draw the belly in, exhale, rise back up into our warrior two. And we'll straighten again that right leg. Lift and lengthen through the spine. Now is our triangle pose. So both legs are straight. There's a gentle bend in them. We aren't hyperextending the knees by locking them out, but keeping that gentle bend in the knees, feeling those thighs nice and solid and active. So point it out, gazing out towards those right fingertips. Push the hips over to the left, like you're getting some sass there. And reach forward with the right fingertips, like you're poking something on the right wall. And you can reach no more. Slowly start to lower that right hand down towards maybe the right shin, the right thigh, maybe reaching all the way down to the foot or the floor. And we'll extend this time, the left arm points up towards the ceiling. Those collarbones still shine towards the wall. You still have that slight engagement through the knees, keeping, slight bend in the knees, just keeping them slightly soft. Check in with your breath. Maybe noticing the brain patterns, the thought patterns that are coming in and out. Then we'll draw the belly in. Exhale, rise back up, extending the arms out, front and back. Lower the arms down. Oh, give the arms a little break. Roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. And we'll swivel the right toes so that they are also parallel. That the long edge of the foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat. Taking this into our wide-legged forward fold. Hands can come to the hips. We'll just lengthen through the spine here. Gentle bend in the knees. As we exhale, hinge forward from the hips with a nice long spine. Coming all the way forward, moving slow as molasses. Keeping that gentle bend in the knees. Oh, find that softened, wide-legged forward fold. You can remove the hands from the hips if you'd like and reach down towards the feet or grabbing opposite elbows. Some sort of variation that might feel nice for you today. Taking just a few breaths here. Feeling the back of the legs warm and soften. Maybe a little movement in the hips from side to side. And with a gentle bend in the knees, we'll slowly ragdoll ourselves back up to standing. Head comes up last. Oh, roll the shoulder blades forward, up, back, and down. Now we're going to keep this V shape in the legs. Keep the right foot where it is. We're going to swivel the left knee out. Left toes point towards the short edge of the mat now. So just another way of getting into our warrior two. Slowly bending the left knee over the left ankle, bringing the shoulders over the hips, extending the arms out, front and back. So we're just taking our warrior two in the opposite direction. You're facing the back of the mat. Gaze out over those left fingers. See if you can see your left toes beyond your left knee. Just checking in with everything. Find that little scoop of the tailbone and the drawing in of the belly. Just finding our powerful warrior two. Now let's give that left leg a little break. Straighten the left leg. Oh, momentary reprieve. And then bend the left knee again, finding that warrior two. Sinking down. Finding our model warrior two. Something that feels so nice, a nice opening through the hips, a nice strengthening through the thighs and the glutes. We're going to lower this down into our extended side angle pose. Bring the left forearm to the left thigh. Extend the right arm along the right ear, creating that nice long line of energy between the right leg and the right fingertips. So the fingertips point towards the spot where the wall and the ceiling meet. Keeping the collarbone shining towards the wall. Maybe sinking down a little lower. Continue to breathe steady and slow. And using your core strength, arm strength, leg strength, we'll exhale, rise back up into our warrior two. And now straighten the left leg. Whew. Making any adjustments in the feet, maybe taking a more narrow stance for our triangle pose. Keeping that heel to arch alignment. Kick the hips out to the right side. Take that little bit of sassy swing in the hips. Reach forward with the left fingertips nice and long, and then slowly lower the fingertips down towards the thigh, the shin, or maybe reaching towards the ground. And it's not about how low you can reach with the fingertips, but it's really about this twist through the spine. So we want to, even if like, okay, I can touch the floor, but I'm kind of crumpling down to do so, aim to straighten out the spine and maybe find a variation where the hand is resting on the thigh or the shin. You can really find that nice length through the right side body. Continue to breathe. Find that this is a really nice stretch for when I get those lower back kinks. Building strength as well as stretching. I'll bring the gaze down, draw the belly in, using arm strength, leg strength, core strength. So lift the torso back up, extending the arms out towards the sides. Now swivel the left toes. So again, the long end of the foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Bring the hands back down towards the hips. Lift and lengthen the spine. We're going to take this again into our wide-legged forward fold. So you can make some adjustments in the feet. If you'd like a little more narrow or a little wider of a position, feel free to wiggle the feet out. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale. Slowly hinge forward from the hips. Coming all the way down. Feeling that nice stretch, that release through the backs of the legs. If you didn't get a chance to play with it last time, you might enjoy wiggling the hips gently from side to side, kind of like you're shaking your tail. If your hands can reach down to the floor, you might like walking the hands from side to side. Or you might be nowhere near the floor and just enjoying this nice stretch to the back of the legs. Taking that gentle bend in the knees to help release a little more into the back. So many different options. We all have different anatomy, different places where we're approaching this pose from. So feel what feels good. Nice work. Coming back to center, heel toe the feet towards each other 1 or 2 times, and then bring the heels towards each other and the toes point out towards the mat. So we've got our our knees pointed in that same direction. We'll slowly ragdoll ourselves up to standing. So sorry, that may not have been the clearest instructions, but what it'll look like is that, we've got kind of a wide-legged, what is this, Charlie Chaplin? The toes point out and the heels come in. We'll find this nice stance, maybe 2-3 feet wide. Draw the tailbone down, and we're going to slowly sit the hips down, coming into what I think is like a riding a horse pose or horse squat. It's called goddess pose. I definitely feel challenged in this pose. Sinking the hips down, the knees come over the ankles, rolling the shoulder blades back and down. And then this nice squat. And I'll exhale, straighten the knees, rise the hips back up. Lift and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, bend the knees, sitting back down onto a horse, coming back into our goddess pose. Slowing down the breath. Exhale, rise back up. Okay, 2 is enough of those. Heel toe the feet back towards each other. We're going to meet up back at the top of the mat. Feet are planted. Roll the shoulder blades forward, up, back, and down, finding that nice length in the spine, that strong, powerful mountain pose. Well, inhale, lift the arms up overhead, lift the gaze up overhead. Exhale, open up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips, coming all the way back down. Place the hands on the shins. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands back down onto the floor. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Coming into our hovering plank pose. Just a moment here. Then we'll lower the knees down towards the floor. Untuck the toes behind you. We're going to make our way down onto our belly. So you can just roll down onto the belly or swivel the elbows towards the knees. And we're going to gently bend the elbows, lowering the chin, the chest, the belly down onto the floor. So moving slow as molasses, getting that nice workout through the arms and the core, lowering chin, chest, belly, kind of like you're slithering out onto the floor. Bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. We're going to find a little bit of a Sphinx pose here. Push through the elbows, lift the head up, lift the gaze up. Exhale, draw the chin down towards the chest. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, drop the chin down towards the chest. Inhale, find that nice neutral gaze with the spine. I'm going to do a little bit of arm flossing here. So bring the left hand into the center of the mat. We're just making a little angle with that forearm. Push down into the left elbow. Extend the right arm up towards the sky, getting a little twist here. As you exhale, thread the right hand in that little pocket here behind the left forearm. Lowering down onto the left upper arm. Finding that wiggle spot that feels kind of nice. And then we'll lower the face down onto the left hand or forearm. Getting this nice twist, this nice opening through the shoulders, making any adjustments that you need to feel a little more comfortable. You might shake the hips gently from side to side just to feel a little more settled down into this pose. Heels can roll out towards the outer edges of the mat, just really bringing the attention, the awareness into spreading the shoulder blades back behind you. Just feel that nice softness through the back. Now we'll slowly begin to unwind. Bring the left elbow back underneath the left shoulder. Push through the left elbow, extract the right arm, extend the right arm back up towards the sky, and then slowly lower the right elbow underneath the right shoulder. Place the right hand in the middle of the mat. We'll push through the right elbow, extend the left arm back up towards the sky. And then exhale, thread that arm underneath that little pocket there on the right. Lowering down onto the left forearm, left upper arm. And then releasing the head down onto the right hand, resting on the opposite cheek. Again, finding any of that wiggle that helps you just settle down a little bit more into this pose. Making it as comfortable as possible to really breathe into opening up the shoulders. Slowly coming out of this, bring the right elbow underneath the right shoulder, pushing into the right elbow, extract the left arm, reaching it back up towards the sky, getting that little twist in again, and slowly lowering the elbow back down towards the floor. Push through the elbows. Take that little back bend as you inhale, lift up, gaze up. And exhale, bringing the gaze down. We're going to take this into a little pencil roll. We're going to end up on our back. So just rolling over. Ooh. When we make our way onto our back, draw the knees into the chest, giving yourselves a little hug here. Maybe a gentle rock from side to side, feels good in the hips. Pause the rock, plant the feet back down onto the floor, heels by the sitting bones. Nice bend in the knees. Knees are hips distance apart, feet are hips distance apart. Reach the hands down by the hips, broaden through the collarbones, setting up for our bridge pose. Squeeze your glutes. Press down into the heels and the fronts of the feet. As you exhale, slowly lift the hips up towards the sky. We'll feel a nice stretch along the fronts of the thighs, nice activation through the backs of the thighs. Taking a gentle tuck in the chin, that yogic double chin. Feel the back of your neck reaching down towards the floor. Breathing nice and steady and slow. And exhale, slowly lowering the hips back down towards the floor. We'll take some windshield wipers in between sets. So opening the arms up into cactus arms or airplane wings. We'll begin to lower the hips, the knees from side to side. Moving just as slow as you'd like or as fast as you'd like. Just allowing these windshield wipers to feel so good. Great. Okay, just one more bridge. Let's get ourselves set up, knees up towards the sky. Hands by the hips. Squeeze the glutes as you exhale, lift the hips up towards the sky. This time you might reach the hands underneath the hips, rocking gently from side to side on the shoulders, pulling the hands towards the heels, just getting a little bit more arch in the back. Little more of that back bend. Make sure to keep the knees parallel to each other. So just notice if the knees have kind of flailed out or if they're coming into touch, keep them hips distance apart. And then release the hands, unwind the shoulders, slowly lower back down onto the floor. Open the arms out and take that windshield wiper left and right. Great work. Bring the knees back up towards the sky. Check for your strap. Slowly draw the right knee in towards the chest. Place the strap at the bottom of the right foot. We'll kick the right heel up towards the sky as we extend the left leg out nice and long onto the floor. Keep the left toes pointed towards the sky. Take the strap into the right hand. Place the left hand on the left hip. Moving slowly with your breath, open the right leg towards the right side of the mat. Keeping those hips grounded, shoulders grounded. Finding our edge here, just moving through this pose faster than we usually do, but I want to make sure we get all the parts in. Kick the left heel out towards the the right heel towards the right side of the room. Just feel that stretch intensify. Then we'll engage the core muscles, use the belly, the leg, the arm, and our exhale, lift the right heel back up towards the sky. We'll take the straps into both hands. As we exhale, slowly lift the head and chest towards the knee. Exhale, slowly lower the head and chest back down towards the floor. Take the strap into the left hand, extend the right arm out towards the right, moving slowly with your breath, lower the right leg across the body to the left side of the mat. Oop. Soften the left leg. You might bring the gaze over to the right fingertips. Then we'll draw the belly in, exhale, lift the right heel up towards the sky, reflex the left toes, grab the strap with both hands. On your exhale, lift the nose towards the knee, getting closer every time maybe. Well, exhale, slowly soften the chest, the head back down onto the floor, release the right foot, draw a nice long straight line with that right heel until it comes to reach the floor. Allow the toes to fall out towards the outer edges of the mat. Just feel that nice softness through the right leg, that warmth, that tingle, that movement of blood. And we'll flex the toes to point back up towards the sky. Draw the left knee back into the chest. Place the strap at the bottom of the left foot and then kick the heel up towards the sky. Take the strap into the left hand. Place the right hand on the right hip. As you exhale, slowly open the left leg out towards the left side of the room. Finding your edge, kick the left heel out towards the left side of the room. Just a little bit more. Feel that stretch intensify. Then draw the belly back in. Exhale, lift the heel back up towards the sky. Grab the straps with both hands. Exhale, lift the head up towards the knee. Then slowly lower the head and chest back down towards the floor. Take the strap into the right hand. Extend the left arm out towards the left. Slowly lower the left leg across the body to the right side of the mat. Soften the right leg. Maybe bring the gaze over to the left fingertips. Bring the gaze back up towards the sky. Use the core strength, arm strength, leg strength. Exhale, lift the left heel back up towards the sky. Reflex the right toes to point towards the ceiling. Grab the strap with both hands. While exhale, lift the head and chest up towards your knee. And then we'll slowly, softly release the head and the chest. Release the foot from the strap. Place the strap off to the side. Oh, lower the left heel down towards the floor. Allow the toes to fall out towards the outer edges of the mat. We'll move into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Bring the hands down by the hips. Palms face the sky. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath you. Close your eyes. Find some softness in the face. Soften the toes and the fingers. Soften the belly and the glutes. And just sink down into our final resting pose, Shavasana. begin to bring a little bit of movement back into the fingers and the toes. Let's take a nice big inhale. Open up the mouth and sigh it out. Waking ourselves up nice and slow. And slowly making our way onto one side without any urgency. So as you feel ready, pushing yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Eyes can stay closed or the gaze softly lowered. Find that length through the spine as you stack yourself back up into a nice long position. I want to thank you all so much for your practice today. It's always just such a joy. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Namaste.